Carla is waiting to be tested for lead poisoning. She is just 3 years old.
Lead has a way of etching away at IQ points. For women, during pregnancy, lead can leach out of the bones and cross the placenta to affect the fetus before a child is even born. So lead has a devastating effect. It is most devastating on children from the birth.
1 in 5 of America's poor children has lead poisoning. Carla lives in what is called the lead hot zone of South Central Los Angeles. More than half the kids tested in Carla's neighborhood have lead poisoning. Experts say lead poisoning is irreversible. It causes loss in IQ points, mental retardation, and hyperactivity.
We do not have a right to damage children, to use children in this community, or in any community for that matter, as canaries in the coal mine.
But in the hot zone, local community volunteers are fighting back and winning the future one family at a time.
We have over 10,000 kids like Carly. The parents, they didn't know it's poison.
Monique Uriarte works for the Esperanza Community Housing Corporation. She is part of a team of promotoras, or health promoters, in the hot zone.
For promotoras, it's really important. We are zero tolerance with lead because we know lead poisoning is 100% preventable.
Lead poisoning is basically a housing problem with severe health consequences.
So, promotoras educate the community about many important issues such as tenant rights. They also make house calls to find out what causes lead poisoning in kids.
Being a promotora and doing the door-to-door outreach, we never know what we're going to find when we knock on that door, what's behind that door. We go out there with the intention of talking about lead poisoning and asthma, but that might not be the priority of the family. Domestic violence, it might be unemployment or immigration issues. So we want to help the families find a solution for those issues so that then they could focus on the lead poisoning and the asthma.
The housing in this neighborhood is basically out of the 1920s. This is 75 years later. We're talking lead, asbestos, mold. Those are the triggers that absolutely impact families, and they don't know it.
Sister Diane Donahue founded Esperanza in 1989 to give poor families safe, affordable housing. Esperanza partnered up with other nonprofits, bought slums, gutted them, and created 169 units for families to call home.
Look, yeah.
Then Esperanza started looking for what else needed to be done.
Every program area, beginning with the housing, has come out of an expressed need by the community.
It didn't take long to figure out that the community needed to know more about the dangers inside their homes. Dust, mold, chipping, or peeling paint can be toxic.
Giving information to the families on how to keep dust levels down is really important, especially when there's someone with asthma in the home. There's certain things that you could do to reduce the dust.
Esperanza has trained more than 300 neighborhood women to be promotoras. They have often survived domestic violence, war zones, and more to become role models in their communities and to their children.
Children are what this community is all about. All of the work that we do is designed to protect and improve the quality of life for neighborhood families and children.
I also got this.
Oh, there, yeah,
to take out all the dust in the air.
And one child at one graduation who was just so dazzled by the graduating class that his mother was in. I went up to him afterwards and I said, "You look as if you're really proud of your mom." He said, "Well, my mom always wanted to be a role model, and now she is one."
Jason tiene asma desde como él comenzó como a los 8 meses, comenzó a notar, se le comenzaron a notar los síntomas.
Jason's role model and mom worked for a year and a half on the Healthy Homes team, one of 5 programs that Esperanza developed. This one designed to help the community improve housing conditions.
Using alternative methods of cleaning, of using baking soda instead of using bleach, with which is very irritating to children or adults with asthma. So we give them a kit that has all these products, vinegar with water that they could also use instead of bleach. We also give them a book on how to maintain their home lead-free and dust-free.
The promotoras, we wouldn't know what it is in people's lives, what it is in their homes that's actually poisoning our children.
Esperanza has partnered with St. John's Well Child and Family Center to bring down the lead level in kids. It has worked.
That's the real story, that through intervention and prevention we can bring down those blood levels in 90% of the kids.
We use a broom. We just move the dust from one place to another. So when we use a mop, we pick up the dust, and that helps a lot to reduce the triggers of asthma in the home.
Every single household in this neighborhood has been visited, and that's an amazing statistic. We want children to be able to be in homes and with families that have opportunity for education, for health, and for better employment.
Some visits are hard to take, Gabriela says, when property owners made unsafe repairs in Norberta's home. The peeling paint looked like snow had fallen in the hot zone.
And it was just all over her kitchen. And that was really hard for me to watch, that she wasn't warned that they were going to come and do the repairs. So it was sadness with anger, how can this happen? Why in this community? Why the children? I think that's one of my biggest frustrations, myself being a mother. I wouldn't want my children to go through that.
Norberta is a single mom. She can't afford to even test herself for lead. And both her son and daughter have lead poisoning.
Pues en realidad yo no sabía qué era lo que él tenía, ni sabía qué significaba plomo, que también me ocurrió con la niña, con la otra más grande, que ella en los 93 me le detectaron plomo, pero el doctor me dijo que no me preocupara, que no era nada malo. Muy importante, más que nada, pues tener mi casa propia para tener una vivienda saludable y con espacio para que ellos puedan jugar, ellos puedan tener tranquilidad y no estarnos preocupando porque el plomo, porque las cucarachas, porque las ratas o porque todo eso.
The good news is Norberta has learned about her rights from Esperanza. The bad news, she's being evicted. The promotoras are helping her fight the eviction.
I say always, to be a good promotora, you need to work brain, heart, and courage together. You need to make these three links.
Despite the differences the Promotora program has made over the past decade, money is a big challenge for Esperanza. The organization can't afford the neighborhood that was a slum before Sister Diane went to work with the Promotora.
This, probably 800 to 900,000. It's just over the top. That's one of the reasons why we cannot afford now to build in this neighborhood.
Funding is a challenge that Nancy Ibrahim will have to deal with. Sister Diane is retiring, but plans to keep helping the neighborhood she calls home.
What I most wish for Esperanza Community Housing is that we have the means to continue our very, very vital mission in this community for generations to come.
3-year-old Carla tested positive for lead poisoning, but there is hope.